Hey, what is up? Welcome back, Design Squad. And if you remember from one of my videos previously, I was telling you how important it is to document every step along the way for your UX processes, the case studies, the projects you're doing. And the key reasons being is one, so you can actually craft really quick case studies because all the material is outlined and structured for you to do so. And two is actually to look back years after you are done and have a good laugh at yourself. And this is exactly what we're going to do today. So just a couple of weeks ago, the live stream, one of the questions from a viewer was, could you show us how to write a cover letter by a memo? I can, but it's not that difficult. If you want to write a cover letter, you need to capture everything what doesn't fit in your resume or your portfolio. It's really the heart-to-heart communication to hiring team and hiring manager and potential team of hire recruiters, you name it, whoever is reading it. It's everything you think is gonna grab their attention, which you can't really capture in like your resume needs to be tailored, right? But it needs to be factual. Your cover letter doesn't have to be that factual. You can recap what's in your resume, but you need to tell, your passions, why you as a person, as an individual who's gonna grow, as a designer who's gonna kind of like excel, is a good fit for them. And likewise, why they, you think, are a good fit for you. Why is there a match? There are definitely a couple of very clear schools of thought here. One is like myself as a hiring manager, I couldn't care less if you submit your application and add a cover letter, because to me it's like, UX portfolio and resume would probably matter most, which makes sense. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have people, which is totally different school of thought, which I encounter in more like a startup culture where people want to know you much, much deeper and closer. And also I've talked to some hiring managers before, design and product and tech, who cared a lot what person has to say besides just facts in the resumes or besides the case studies in a portfolio. So it definitely varies. And then you also have an extremist on both cases, of course, as well. Some might think that it's almost like begging for your work. Others might be thinking that it's the only way you could get the work. I don't even remember last time. Oh, actually, I do remember the last time I wrote a cover letter. And maybe I'm actually going to share it with everyone. And so starting with a notion that you would only craft the cover letter to add the personality, to tell the employer why you're a good fit and why they are a good fit for you, how you're a good match. This is a cover letter I did for Strava. It's a social network for athletes, and at that point I think we were hiring for midweight or senior role. I can't recall, it was years ago. It was like 5, 6, 7 years ago, if I recall correctly. I outline immediately, a link to my portfolio, my Strava page, London, that I'm open to relocate. And by the way, this is another thing to caveat as well. As mentioned in the live stream, I didn't get in, and I only got a response that they cannot support visa at that point, which is fair, by the way. So the cover letter went like this. Dear Strava, I think we'd be a great fit together. You, looking to learn more about how customers use your product, then turn these insights into engaging and effective design solutions. And this was a copy-paste from their job ad, by the way. And then I said, me, a user experience designer with 6+ years of experience in product design, leading efficient design teams, also a competitive athlete who uses Strava daily. Let's connect. That type of a call to action, which you would use in Strava, let's say. And a certified sports coach helping people achieve their full athletic potential. I'm excited to channel these passions into better understanding and further improving each user's Strava, enabling them to truly strive. And this is a hashtag which they've used in their marketing campaigns back in the day, in their customer promotions and the app itself. So as you can see, I'm trying to tie in all the different dots so it kind of resonates with the actual hiring manager, let's say. I'm not even sure if hiring manager in the end saw this, but it doesn't really matter. And when I'm saying I'm passionate about delivering user-centered design in an efficient, timely manner, I always start with user research, XYZ, quant data, my portfolio here, and I actually linked the case which had a social network concept, an app for athletes to meet together and do it socially, which should have resonated with them. And by the way, I came up with that design that exploration, that discovery in a product design just to apply for this specific role. So this is also really important takeaway if you can, because you can then make it much more tailored to the actual employer, to that actual position, which is super important if you want to get in. And then I went on describing exactly what I could do for them, which I'm kind of cringe right now because a lot of it is very product design oriented. In retrospect and hindsight, you know, I could actually update it. And I finish off the actual letter saying, although these look time consuming, with a good lean workflows and team distribution, all of these steps can be completed within hours. And so this is kind of like a proposal to investigate if there's any improvements immediately, running like a design sprint, things of that nature. But I'm kind of giving them some value within the cover letter. I'm not just saying this is me, this is my skills. I'm saying this is what we could do next together, right? It's more than I could portray in a portfolio or a resume. I couldn't say all these things in a resume. And the last bit, which is a hook, is, so how about it? Could we be more than a flyby? I'd love to hear from you. And a flyby was a feature, and I think maybe still exists in Strava, which allowed you to kind of track different people together. So if you run with a partner like your endurance buddy, you could see it on a map progressing and who was first, who was second. So it was perfect for kind of matching people up and seeing how they compare and kind of doing it like a joint effort. So I did a little bit of investigation of what features could match up, you know, did a little bit of a marketing spiel here, being a smart ass. But ultimately these type of hooks matter, and they could click, you know, if there's a right person on the other side. So this is a simple letter, a cover letter, just explaining exactly what's the benefit for them, what I can add to a table, who I am, why I care about the product. Because again, it's usually a good idea to hire people who are passionate about that subject, about that app, who are the users. Make sure that you go inside and try to actually connect the passions, the drive, you know, what makes you so willing to apply, why they should consider you. So it hits the human notes instead of just being like, oh, this is how many years I had of experience and things of that nature. If I would receive a letter like this right now, as a hiring manager, I would be more than happy to talk to that person. The most important bit is still portfolio and the skills they portray, all that evidence in the portfolio. If your portfolio has all the case studies in the world which are relevant for your potential employer or that company, you don't need a cover letter. If, however, your case studies varies, or you're too junior, or you know there might be a gap and you anticipate that, then if there's an option for cover letter, you could cover the gap. If you're gonna spend a few hours crafting a cover letter, make sure that it's worth it. Make sure that that position, like what I did with Strava, let's say, I really wanted to get in back in the day. And so I went above and beyond. I tried to tailor my resume to highlight all the skills we wanted in the job ad, tailor my portfolio. So tailoring does matter a lot, but as long as you're actually willing to go that extra mile because you want to get in. And so I hope this is helpful. As per usual, give a like, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment down below what you think about it. And on that note, I'll see you next time.